What's up, everybody? It's Nick, and today I'm very excited because Ableton Alive 11 was just announced. It's coming soon, and I got a hold of the beta. I'm excited to show y'all some of my favorite new features. All right, so comping was probably the biggest new feature introduced in Live 11, and this is gonna allow you to record multiple takes on a single track and really seamlessly choose the best bit of each take and composite it together to one final audio track. So to show you comping, I'm gonna record a percussion instrument I have. This is a frame drum, and we're gonna do a few takes and comp together the best version. So that was 3 takes. If I want to show the takes, just go to the track title, right click and say show take lanes, or hit Command Option U on Mac. And you can see there's my 3 takes, and I kind of stopped on that 4th take. I can delete a take lane simply by clicking on the right here and deleting it. But let's talk about how these kind of interact. If I just highlight what I want on a single take, I can hit enter, and that will actually surface that to the final comp layer. I can also listen to the entire take lane by soloing it here. Another tip I have is using pencil mode, so B, and then you can click and drag exactly what part you want, and that's very quick for A-Bing, ideas. I kind of like maybe the second take here. Maybe the first take. Another new feature is to highlight the entire comp layer, and then right click and say create crossfades on clip edges, or Command Option F. I'm gonna Command J this now and consolidate to a new layer. Notice that the original takes are still intact. There are quite a few new devices in Ableton 11. I'm gonna add some Spectral Resonator on this. So this is gonna break up the spectrum of the incoming audio signal and then allow you kind of to stretch those partials, play with those and blur them, and actually use incoming MIDI signal to play it like an instrument. Whoa. That is sick. That is really fun. All right, let's try throwing a MIDI signal on there. Arm it, and let's take the MIDI, say MIDI from, and select track 4 here. That is nuts. So that was really fun. I'm now gonna use another new feature in Ableton 11 that's huge, and that is the ability to highlight scales in the piano roll. All right, so let's select the time we want. So that's measures 1 through 5. Hit Shift Command M on Mac to bring up piano roll. And notice on the left, this all kind of looks a little new. You can see that the notes, envelopes, and note expression are now separate kind of tabs in the piano roll view. And notice here on the left now in the clip section, there's scale options. So now we can go to C, maybe we want C, and then if you're a push 2 user, you're gonna be familiar with all these scales, but there's some great scale options. And let's just pick something that, maybe we're not as familiar with, maybe one of these kind of pentatonic scales. And you can see Ableton now highlights the notes that are in scale. The root note of the scale is solid, so we can change that here. And notice next to fold, which is a previous feature to collapse the notes that you're only using, you can now do scale, which will only use the notes in the scale. So that's really nice. And you can also even right click, I believe, and say sharps and flats. Now I can use pencil mode and literally put in any note and know that it's in scale. Really nice feature that's finally come to Ableton 11. Let's add another new device, which is hybrid reverb. This combines algorithmic reverb, which is this blue portion here on the right, with convolution reverb, which is this yellow section on the left. This really enhances the sound design and a big improvement to the reverb devices in Ableton. There's quite a few new devices included, so be sure to check out the description for more information on those. Cool, so now we've sound designed that original frame drum to something that's far from it. All right, I'm gonna go to Splice to find some drum sounds. I'm gonna go to Instruments in Splice, go to Percussion, switch to Loops, and let's get my BPM range to around 140. Yeah, I like that. That'll actually go well. So I'm gonna put that in the first take lane. We can use the comping feature and take lanes to sound design new loop ideas. So to do this, right click on an audio track and say insert take lane or shift option T. So we can add some take lanes, and now let's just drop in some percussion loops. I really like this actually, so we're gonna use, and this OMG Romney percussion loop. So I've got 3 percussion loops that are kind of just from different packs. I'll have the sounds from this video in a collection, and if you haven't tried Splice Sounds, we'll have a promo code for 1 free month of Sounds 100. Just use the promo code YT2020. So I've dropped in 3 different loops from Splice. And again, I'm gonna use B to kind of highlight which section of the take I want. I think this is an amazing new way to splice together ideas, if you will. All right, let's find a kick. Going to Splice, let's go to recently added. If you can't see already, the velocity window looks different than Ableton 10, and that's because we've got some new options here as well. So if I hold Command and click on this line and drag, I can actually set this kind of range where the velocity will land it. So this is a really nice way to add variation, to humanize your grooves now. Let's get in a more interesting pattern. Another amazing feature that's dropping with Live 11 is MPE support. That stands for MIDI polyphonic expression. For example, in Live 10, if you had a chord, you could only apply pitch bend to the entire chord. So the polyphonic in MPE means that we can apply these expressions, bends, slides, pressure, to individual notes, which is super powerful for sound design. And I really think it's gonna be a big part of sound design workflow going into the future. So let's get an 808 pattern into this and use some slides with this MPE. Yeah, that 808 will be nice. I'm gonna drag that into simpler. We're gonna drag that in. And I can also shift select both the original drum pattern and the 808 pattern. And now in Ableton 11, I can edit both patterns at once, or I can select to focus on one pattern or the other. So that's right up here at the top. So that's a new feature as well. Rather than, turning glide on and trying to get some overlapping notes, we can use MPE. All right, so I'm gonna go into the 808 clip, and on the right tab, you're gonna see the note expression. Let's expand this window, and now I can see the slide option. And again, this is for individual notes. So if I hit A, Command A, I can select all notes. And just note that scale cannot be on to get the slides, because sliding, we're gonna be going through the whole chromatic scale. So make sure you turn off scale. And I note, look, we have this slide option. And if I actually click this, now I don't have to do any 808 parameters, glide, or anything. This is just gonna automatically slide, and it gives me the semitones. It represented on the scale. So if I wanna go an octave, I know I'm going C to C here, and that's really powerful. I think that's a great workflow, especially if you're doing a lot of 808 slides and glides. And if I hold Command, I can actually snap to the semitones, so that's really nice. There's quite a few other features that are meant for specifically live performance. We won't break those down in this video, but they include live performance following, so you can set an input audio signal and have Ableton follow the tempo. Macro improvements, including macro snapshots and up to 16 macros, so you can save custom states and trigger them on stage. And new settings to control note chance and velocity chance, and more abilities with follow actions. All right, I'm gonna work on this beat a little bit more and let's hear what we can get. Awesome, so those were some of my favorite new features of Ableton Live 11. It's in beta. If you're a Live 10 owner, you can sign up for beta access. We'll have the link in the description. Let us know in the comments what other types of specific tutorials you would like to see, whether it's like more device breakdowns, maybe more tutorials on arranging, mixing. Let us know in the comments. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to our channel. We're releasing videos weekly. And as always, I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your day. See you next time. Later.